All right, this is Trades Talk with Captain Delta, and I'm here with Chris.
Hey.
All right, do you want to formally introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Chris McTaggart. I work for Tilco Electric here in Kitchener. So, yeah.
And how long have you been
With
an electrician?
I've been an electrician for 15 years now.
15 years.
Including my apprenticeship, but licensed for 9.
And what's your role now?
Right now, I'm an electrical foreman.
There you go.
So,
top dog.
Yeah.
All right. And what got you in this line of work?
Honestly, every guy on my dad's side of the family has a trade. So I just kind of felt pushed into it, but I enjoy working with my hands, and I'm not a sit at the desk kind of guy.
Yeah. So, other electricians or just a bunch of?
I've got 2 electricians in the family as well.
Yeah, nice. So, do you guys compete?
Kind of, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. It's always that way.
Yeah.
And was electrical your first job in construction, or did you do any?
I did a victory lap of high school, so I kind of chose between electrical and HVAC. So I did a co-op for HVAC as well, and then I decided I liked the electrical better. And I seen that I had family in the trade, so they were doing all right for themselves. So I figured I'd give it a shot.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, the high school program used to be really, really good, like with co-op and all that. I don't know if they still do that, but
they do it in Kitchener here.
Yeah.
I'm from Woodstock. They don't really do that much in Woodstock.
Yeah,
but you can do co-op programs, but they actually send you out to big sites here in Kitchener.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's awesome. Yeah. So you said you're in electrical. What's something people outside the trade might not understand about your job?
That it's honestly more time consuming than people think.
Yeah.
It's not just turn the breaker on and it works. There's a lot more steps behind the scenes that they don't understand.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that's what the last guy said. What's the hardest part of your job, you think?
Trying to deal with people's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Honestly, trying to figure out who's stronger at doing what and what's the best approach to try and teach somebody the best way to get the job done, I guess.
Especially specifically as a foreman, trying to, and what's the most satisfying part of your job?
When it's all done and you can stand back and turn the power on, and then you can just see that the sense of accomplishment, I guess, that you were a part of it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I'll give credit to everybody that works with me. Like, it's a team effort, but it's a good accomplishment. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you find is there certain things that you feel better about, like, the fancy lighting or the bigger transformers? And
me personally, I'm into the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
I like the electrical rooms and like the boiler rooms and like your power distribution.
Yeah.
A unit it's still important, but it's not the big stuff, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy seeing the big stuff turn on.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I think people not necessarily have an idea of how interconnected all of this stuff is on big sites.
There's a lot more than just what you see. The stuff behind the scenes that makes it all work.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
A lot of thought and a lot of work.
Yeah. We found that out the hard way, trying to miss lines that are in like concrete and stuff. Like, people don't understand how much stuff is running that you don't see. And
there's a lot of planning that goes into it, like even from the stage of like pouring the concrete, like how you're going to run your paths and what size and all that kind of stuff. Multiple stages.
Absolutely. And what skills from the trades help you in everyday life?
Everyday life, problem solving, really.
Yeah.
So I think problem solving is a huge one. But yeah, problem solving, thinking ahead, trying to plan the next step.
Yeah.
So just
a lot of translatable skills in the trades.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And what do you find the hardest part about leading a crew? Like, what would you say as far as being a foreman?
It's just trying to keep everybody moving in like the planning stage of like what material in the next month do I think they're going to use, and like at what stage do I feel like we should be attacking the next step.
Yeah.
And where do I shift the manpower to try and keep their timelines on point, right?
Yeah.
Like I might feel I need to get the distribution done, but to try and hit their timelines, I have to try and shift guys around to try and pick whatever timeline they're trying to hit.
Mm-hmm. Especially a job like this is particularly chaotic.
Yeah.
You can see it being, yeah. You guys have, how many guys do you have?
Right now we got 18.
18. So that's a ton of guys to.
With occupancy, we were around 25.
Yeah.
So
do you find that you tend to delegate things to like to crew leaders maybe to try to organize, or do you mostly organize?
I like to try and break it down into little small crews, like people take care of the units, and then other people can be in the garage, and kind of break it off into little sections. So then I can kind of delegate what I'd like to see into those smaller groups, because you can't physically watch 25 guys in a day.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. Micromanaging just doesn't work.
No.
And do you think society underestimates tradesmen?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that? What do you think that they're missing?
I feel like it's just a stereotypical, you work in construction, so it's just mindless labor work. They don't think how much thought and knowledge needs to be there to contribute to your job. Right?
Yeah, definitely a lot of knowledge and
like you're not just going out there with a shovel. Like you're actually thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
people I think they don't understand how much is involved and how many people and moving parts, and there's so many things. And do you think working with your hands matters
in society? Yeah, I think there's a certain aspect that society kind of, like, you are not a doctor, you're not a lawyer or whatever, but like working with your hands, I think, is important, because I think it's a good life skill. You can do whatever you want to do. Like me being able to use tools doesn't just mean I can do electrical at home. Like I can build a deck, I can work on stuff. Like I'm comfortable with those kind of tools.
Yeah.
Right. And just that kind of general knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And like you said, with translatable skills like problem solving, you can kind of problem solve a lot of different types of things. Yeah, that's good. What does a good tradesman look like to you?
Just somebody who wants to come in, put a good, honest, hard day's work in, and be the best they can be at their skill, right? And not just try and cut corners and do whatever they think they can get away with for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there any like particular skills when you have guys working, underneath you? Is there any particular skills that you want to see with, let's say your best guys?
Honestly, it sounds silly, but like problem solving is something that's huge. And a lot of people nowadays don't seem to want to do it. They want you to come and spell it out for them, how they should approach the situation. When they know they've got 2 or 3 options, they know they could try and eliminate some of the others.
Yeah.
And they don't want to try.
Yeah.
So I feel like problem solving is huge.
Yeah, I agree. Like there's almost like a mental laziness where, instead of coming to you with, hey, I have this, but I want to maybe try this to solve it, or they're just like looking for, please tell me how to do it, and all physically.
Like everybody's an electrician. Like it's all relative to where you've been in your life. Like if you've only worked in a Toyota plant, you might not know 3-way switches and stuff like that as comfortable with it in a unit setting like this. Vice versa, if you were here, you wouldn't be the same skill set as if you were at Toyota. So it's all like they have a general electrical knowledge of everything, but it's all based off of what you've done in the past. But having that extra additional skill of problem solving skills, then at least it gives you the ability to try and think for yourself and get to the next step.
I find as long as like we all have the ability to kind of look things up and that kind of thing as well. If you're not sure, and there's a bunch of steps I feel like that you can take before you go to the top dog and bug them, because obviously you have a lot on your plate, right? Do guys automatically respect you as a foreman, or do you feel like it's something you have to earn every day?
I try and earn it. Like, I feel like there's a general respect, but I try and go above and beyond. Like, if there's cable pulls or something like that, I try and be a part of it. I try and show them that I'm not scared to do it as well.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not just going to stand there and watch them.
Yeah,
But I feel like there's a general respect, but I
yeah,
just try and go above and beyond to earn more, right?
yeah,
Like,
that's
I,
good.
I've done it before too. Like, I've not
Yeah,
just been a foreman my whole life. Like, I was an electrician that did the same shit that they're doing. So I'm
yeah,
showing them it's possible and I'm not scared to do it.
yeah. You were the apprentice, the co-op kid, like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and work your way.
Yeah.
That's the beauty about the trades is guys tend to work up the ladder to whether they're foreman or they become site super or road super, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They've kind of all been on that ladder somewhere, and I don't know, like some other types of jobs I imagine are not that way, where somebody goes to college and they hop right in and
Yeah.
telling people what to do.
Yeah. No, I agree.
um, so when something goes wrong on site, how much of that falls on you as foreman?
All of it,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah,
Like, it feels good in the sense of being the foreman because you can kind of pick and choose who's doing what tasks and what tasks you want to kind of focus on.
mm-hmm.
But when something goes wrong, all fingers point to you, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah,
You're the quickest one to blame,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and I guess you kind of have to, like, that's part of the job as foreman, is
Yeah.
taking that responsibility.
Yeah. But if you do all your due diligence prior to and you try and prepare yourself the best way possible and you know that the job's been done proper,
Mm-hmm.
then at least you've taken some of the fault off of yourself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. There's always going to be times where things are out of your control,
Yeah.
freak accidents and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can definitely eliminate as much of the possibilities for that as much as you can.
Yeah.
Um, what do you do personally if somebody isn't like pulling their weight, or somebody isn't shaping up?
I just try and pull them aside and like I'll tell everybody like I'm not going to lay you off just blindside and walk up and say this is not working out. I'll
Mm,
come and talk to you multiple times and say like, hey, I've noticed this is an issue and like how do we approach it? Like, is there something I can do to show you, teach you? Is there something wrong? You're not happy? Like, what's going on so we can try and fix it?
yeah, yeah,
So, and if I'll tell them all, like, if this can't be fixed, then unfortunately it's not going in a good direction and this won't work out.
yeah.
But we'll talk again if this is a reoccurring issue.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good approach, because like a lot of guys, yeah, they don't. I think they don't quite understand. Like either they understand they're being lazy,
Yeah.
or they don't understand where they're.
Going wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, if I come and talk to you 2 or 3 times and then unfortunately nothing's changing, you
yeah,
can't be surprised and mad at me for a layoff, right? Like, it's inevitable,
yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
company has to be profitable too, or I don't end up with a job.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
And all the work has to be done, and there's only so many guys to do it.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So thinking back to when you were an apprentice, what was the biggest thing that you learned that helped your apprenticeship along?
I learned that you can't just say, yeah, yeah, yeah. If you don't understand something, you got to stop and ask,
Mhm.
right? If you can't just get through by lying to yourself, like you don't want to be the guy who's licensed for 5 years and still doesn't understand a switch.
Yeah,
Ask when you're an apprentice because that's your time to learn,
absolutely. That's a really good one,
right?
because yeah, guys, yeah, they feel like they have to agree, or they, yeah,
They love the yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And I
So
wonder what that is. Do you think it's because they feel like stupid asking, or
I feel like, yeah, or they want to kind of lead you on and make it sound like they know more, but it
yeah,
gets you no further ahead.
yeah,
I'd rather you ask me 10 times than do it wrong and we have to fix it later.
yeah? As an
Right.
apprenticeship, in your apprenticeship and as an apprentice, I think like the biggest thing I always think is like really want to learn.
Yeah.
If you're there and there's people who know all this stuff,
Yeah.
try
Just
to
ask
learn as much as you
because
can.
nobody learns the same way. Like you gotta, sometimes it takes different ways to approach it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Like
yeah.
I didn't understand switching. I'll admit it. I didn't get it. There's multiple ways to do switching. You can do it 9 times the same way 9 times. The 10th time, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Right? Until somebody breaks it down and draws it out for you and says, here's your 3 options of how you would do it.
Yeah.
Draw it on the paper how you're going to wire it. And until that actually clicks in your brain, when they're like, no, you're wrong, it should be like this, and explain it, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then now it's easy.
Yeah.
But it was explained because you asked the question, because it didn't make sense.
Absolutely.
If you just said yeah, and did it the other way because you were right 9 of the 10 times, gets you no further ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Never be afraid to ask questions, for sure.
No.
Yeah. So thinking of that, what makes a good apprentice?
A good apprentice, come in, do an honest, hard day's work, and actually listen and learn.
Yeah.
Don't just put your time in for a paycheck. You need to ask questions, kind of learn the trade the best you can. You've got 5 years. You got to put your head down and just learn and listen.
Yeah.
Right? Try, ask questions, ask to do the next task, offer to do more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's tough for apprentices because they're in this tiny world inside of this huge world. Like, they don't know what they don't know, and they're being like, hey, you got to get this and this done.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're being also paid to learn.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's definitely go there with good attitude, ready to,
A positive attitude's huge.
Yeah.
If you come in and you know it all, you're never going to stop and listen and learn.
Yeah.
You can't say, yeah, I know. You got to just listen to what somebody's telling you.
Yeah.
Because there's more than one way to do things.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. So what makes a good journeyman or mentor?
Somebody who can actually be patient enough to explain what's going on. Like, not just you put these 2 wires together and everything works. And in that scenario, yes, you've got the job done and you can move on, but they don't understand what they've just done.
Yeah.
You need to stop and break it down and explain the whole scenario.
Yeah.
The reasons why you're doing it, what it's going to do, how it's going to work. Somebody who's got the patience and time.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, some guys don't understand that that's kind of part of their role. You come to work thinking, okay, well, I just have to come and slam pipe in, or I have to run wires, and forget about the whole thing. Is like, hey, you're also a teacher.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you give someone thinking about getting into the trades?
Honestly, just find what interests you. If it interests you, you're more likely to want to learn. And if it interests you and you try it and you absolutely hate it, just stick with it. And it's a 5-year apprenticeship. You could put your 5 years in, you get a license, and if you decide you want to try something else, it's only 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? You can always have it to fall back on.
Yeah.
I feel like just go with what you enjoy.
Absolutely.
Right.
And name a mistake that apprentices usually make, like something common.
They like to, if they make a mistake, they like to try and hide it. Just be forward with it.
Yeah.
Just come out and say, hey, I made a mistake. It's easier to fix it now than me catch it later.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody makes mistakes. I've done it. I'll admit it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you just need to be open and honest.
It's a good life lesson. Absolutely. And what's maybe the craziest, scariest, funniest job site moment you've experienced?
The scariest, I can't think of one.
Or maybe something noteworthy.
The scariest, funniest thing, I would say, being in an elevator shaft and somebody throwing a brick down the elevator shaft. That was
that's an interesting
pretty scary. Yeah. Open my eyes up that you need to be aware of your surroundings.
Yep, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Was that here?
No, that was when I was an apprentice.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's a scary one.
And then you learn quickly too. I mean, you can't just, your first reactions just get mad and whatever, but that doesn't get you any further. You need to realize that there's more than one person at fault. I should have been aware of what was going on too. Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think trades guys get along so well?
I think they just understand each other. Like, like I said, there's more to the job than just turning something on or slamming in pipe or whatever. Like I think in general, it's just a general knowledge and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys are on this trying to accomplish the same task,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same project, different tasks, but you're on the same path.
Yeah. Eventually we have to have this building done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Um, what would you say is like the best job site you've ever worked on, or the one that you like the best, or most interesting, or
honestly, probably when I first became foreman, I just started to take more interest in the fact of like, you know, that you're gonna. So the guy that I took over for, he left mid project. So then I started to become a foreman. So I took more note in the project just because you know that there's going to be a lot of responsibility and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it just felt like the biggest accomplishment,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
absolutely. Um, and what's something that might keep you up at night as a foreman?
honestly, it bothers me when I try and like I'll try and plan the next day,
Yeah,
right? Like if I have certain guys do certain tasks and trying to think of deadlines in my head and what we could do and how to approach it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just scenarios run through your brain all the time.
absolutely.
Or if you've got a deadline coming up and you know you're not going to hit, there's a lot of stress,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. They tend to move those deadlines
Yeah.
up on you, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That one's tough to keep ahead of. I find I'll sit down and like at my desk, and sometimes the guys leave whatever before, and I'll write down a list of things that I'm thinking for the next day.
Yeah.
And I try to just like, okay, that stays here.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when I'm at home,
It's hard. And then it sucks because the next day sometimes there can be a curveball in the whole thing
everything
and
just
it's
blows
just
up.
out the window.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? You got to jump to put out the fires they've created.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, do you think hard work is still valued today?
Yeah, I just feel like they expect more and more and more out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when you hit a deadline or project, like the time, like when you hit their timelines, I feel like it always gets shorter and tighter. So I feel like hard work is respected, but they push their limits too on what they expect hard work to be.
Yeah, what people
Right?
can physically
They
get
keep
done.
moving that bar.
Yeah.
So
Do you find like the younger generations feel the same way about hard work?
honestly, I feel like the younger generations are coming into it not expecting it to be as hard as what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of reality checks once they get on site.
Yeah.
I feel like whatever they come into it with a preconceived idea that it's just easy, clean work.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the case.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, like everybody's version of what's a hard day's work is different,
Mm-hmm.
but you just got to do your personal best, right?
Yeah.
If you do your best, nobody can be mad at you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So,
true. Yeah. There's a level of learning that I think too, like learning the grit,
yeah,
like learning to have a bit of gumption to,
yeah,
okay, it's gonna suck, but
yeah,
fuck it.
yeah. Just toughen up a little bit, right?
Yeah. So what advice would you give young men today, just in general, let's say?
In general, like to get into the trades or just
It could be that, or just like a general for young men who are ready to go out into the world.
honestly, just don't be lazy. Approach everything with your best effort and just know that you can always get something better, right? Like just keep working harder and pushing and trying to push yourself and get further in life, really.
Yeah, oh, that's good. That's good. Um, and what is something that you'd like to see improved in the industry, maybe in electrical or construction in general?
I feel like I'd like to see like when they push, I understand that they try and achieve deadlines and stuff like that, but they do sometimes cause quality to be cut.
Mm.
I feel like every tradesman knows their job and they know the quality that they should be producing. And I feel like you should be allowed to have the appropriate amount of time to try and achieve and produce the best work you can do.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't think cutting corners is the solution.
No, I don't think so either. I don't know if it's just me, but I find like the organization from the start, like the planning and
Yeah.
the general organization has taken a bit of a hit, which is weird because we have a lot more people who are, coming from college and things like that,
Yeah.
and having like education on specifically that. And then I don't know, it just seems like lately it's been less of that initial organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the way they approach it too, a lot of the times is more so off of a timeline base. Like I feel like there's an advantage to having somebody in the trades who's done it before that understands the general project,
Yeah.
trying to appropriately delegate those timelines.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if your stuff takes, if a certain section takes you a month,
Yeah.
and the concrete wasn't done in time, so you can't get in there, it doesn't mean that
Yeah.
you can compress that month really. Like there's
Right.
oftentimes no way to
Yeah.
make up that time.
No.
So
I mean, what sounds nice on paper sitting at a desk is sometimes a lot different once you get to the job site in actuality.
yeah, absolutely.
So,
Or throwing, we could throw 20 more guys, but that's like we still can't do it because there's only
yeah.
a certain amount of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Okay, these are going to be some rapid fire questions. Coffee or energy drinks?
I'm more of a pop guy.
Pop?
Yeah.
What's your pop of choice?
Pepsi.
Pepsi, nice. Early start or night shift?
I do night shift.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm not a morning person.
Oh, yeah.
I like being home with my family, but yeah, waking up every day sucks.
Yeah. What's the hardest trade on site?
The hardest trade? I would say physically, I'd say concrete.
Concrete, yeah.
When I was laid off for this period of 10 months and I did concrete work, and I will say that's tough work.
Oh yeah, those are some tough days.
Yeah.
What's the best trade on site?
Biased, I would say electricians.
There you go. I think I always know who's going to choose what on that one. What tool can't you live without?
Strippers.
Yeah. Not that kind.
Yeah.
One word to describe job site life.
Fun.
Big Mac or Whopper?
I'll throw a wrench into it. I'd say a quarter pounder.
Oh, there you go. I'll have to add that one. And I don't know if this pertains to you. I had a question on Nipex or Channel Lock, but what brand tools?
For myself, I'd go with Klein.
Klein, yeah, absolutely. All right. Do you think young guys today are coming in stronger or weaker than before? Just I'm not to say physically, but in general.
In general, it's not going to be popular opinion, but I would say weaker.
Weaker, yeah.
Like,
do you think that maybe it has something to do with the way that people are being raised? And
I feel like that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
I feel like COVID didn't help anything when people couldn't socialize and stuff like that too, right? Especially with kids in school.
Absolutely.
That made a big wrench in things.
Yeah.
But I feel like people are getting a little softer.
Do you find that it's hard to train them out of that, or do you find it's been, fairly easy to?
I feel like you can get a pretty good feeling on somebody right away.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easy to work with somebody who wants to put in the effort and wants to change. But if they really are only here for a paycheck, it's hard to change their perspectives.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man, attitude is everything.
It's huge. It's huge.
If a young guy's watching this and is thinking about getting into the trades, what would you tell him?
I would 100% do it.
Yeah.
I would 100% do it. I personally have a 15-year-old daughter, and I'm trying to push her into the trades.
Oh yeah.
So I told her, even if you get out of high school, try it for 5 years, learn a bunch of skills. If you hate it, you're 23, 24, you can do whatever else you want the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You've got it to go back on.
Yeah. And those skills, they last forever.
Yeah. I think trades are a great idea.
Yeah. Well, AI is not coming for our job right away.
No.
So
No.
And then I'll get one question to ask the next guest.
To ask the next guest, why did they choose the job they have?
Oops. Why did they choose their job? Perfect. All right.
Awesome.
Well,
Great.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.
So I appreciate it.
Awesome.